Florida Governor Ron DeSantis denounced the World Economic Forum, and he says Florida is not open to any policies coming out of Davos. Listen.
Their vision is they run everything and everybody else is just like a serf, like a peasant. They say they're going after energy, ESG, all these other things. And you see the Biden administration wants to nix gas stoves. Are you kidding me? It's really weakening Western society, Western values, that type of stuff coming out of Davos. Those policies are dead on arrival in the state of Florida.
Well, join me now, Florida Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Núñez. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor, for joining us. DOA in this state where I am right now, DOA in the state of Florida. I love hearing that's music to mine in so many ears. I'll let you weigh in on that and what's going on in Davos right now.
Sure, Eric. Well, what we've seen here in Florida is that we care more about what people in cities like Dunedin and Destin and Deerfield Beach and Delray, we care more about what those people think than we do the elites in Davos. And so what Governor DeSantis said and what he's proven with his leadership is that we're going to fight for Floridians. We're going to fight for people's freedoms to decide what they want to drive, how they want to drive it, what they want to eat, how they want to cook it. And so his reference to the gas stoves, I think that's something that while most people, their minds are blown when they hear those types of policies come from DC, but that originates from that globalist view and what they lecture us over in Davos and what I call the woke elite forum, not the World Economic Forum.
Yeah, no question about that. In fact, and also the hypocrisy runs deep in Davos, even though it's on the top of a mountain in the Swiss Alps. You know, all those people, those 2,500 dignitaries, those elitists that fly in on their own private jets and they park them there and you see the whole line of them parked. Meanwhile, they're telling us we can't use gas stoves because somehow we're going to hurt the environment or our brains or whatever the heck they're talking about.
Yeah, and again, you have someone like John Kerry, probably single-handedly one of the biggest, most egregious carbon footprint people on the planet. You know, last year, I believe he was accounting for over 325 metric tons, and yet he stands there and he lectures us, and he demonizes those that try to go about their business and do things that normal people do, drive their cars to work, have to get on a plane, and yet he swoops in on his private plane. He lectures us the hypocrisy. Rules for thee, not for me. I think it really is disgusting. I think that's why so many people view this woke elite forum as something that's completely irrelevant, something that is not going to be first and foremost here in Florida. We're going to continue to fight against those types of woke hypocrisies that we see that reign supreme with all of the leftist elites from Biden on down. And so I believe that in the free state of Florida under Governor DeSantis's leadership, we're going to continue to push forward with freedom first policies. And I think that that's why you're seeing so many people, yourself included, Eric, we've talked about this in the past, so many people flocking to Florida, looking for freedom, looking for opportunity, this globalist view.
I want to ask you about this. One of the things that also struck us as odd, and I talked about it in the monologue, a Republican, Maria Salazar, a congresswoman from the state of Florida, but also a little south of here from Miami, had this to say. Take a listen to this.
Overhaul of the immigration system. Because not only we need those hands, like the Congress, like a senator was saying, but we need to also give dignity to those people who are in the country. And those are the people that I represent. We're talking about 13, 15 million people who are, most of them Hispanics. I would say 80 time to seal the border, like she said, put order, let's see who comes in and who doesn't, and then turn around and give dignity. That doesn't mean path to citizenship. That means to include them and make them dignified members of our community.
So where would the DeSantis Núñez administration stand on, and I'm trying to figure out what she meant by giving dignity, meaning allow them to stay, not necessarily a vote, but allow them to stay. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that our actions speak for themselves. Governor DeSantis and I have been very clear. The crisis at the border is something that we will never stand for. That's why the governor has taken specific action to deal with it. Illegal immigration is a problem that has plagued this country, and it has real consequences on the state of Florida. It has economic consequences. It has criminal consequences. We've seen so many issues as it relates to law and order, safety and security, and we're just not willing to put Floridians at risk by ignoring the crisis at the border and by dealing with this in a very haphazard stance. And so I don't know exactly what she meant. I don't know what her focus was on trying to talk about illegal immigration at the World Economic Forum or Elite Forum that I mentioned. But I certainly don't think that Governor DeSantis would be anywhere near supportive of those principles and the things that she was talking
We're going to
about.
reach out to her and see if we can get her on the show, tomorrow or the next day, because she's a friend of the show. She's been on the show quite a bit, and she does speak a very, very positive, portrays a very positive image of Republicans, of Hispanic Republicans in the state of Florida. We're just trying to figure that one out. Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Núñez. By the way, folks, if you have a President DeSantis, right there might be your best candidate for governor of the state of Florida. I'm just throwing it out there, Lieutenant Governor. Appreciate having you on the show.
Thank you, Eric. Always great to be on.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. Your retirement funds are being threatened with even more losses from record inflation, recession, and skyrocketing interest rates. Fortunately, the highly trained specialists at American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. If you call them right now, as a special offer, they will give you a free gold coin on your first qualifying order, so don't wait. Call 866-935-4309. That's 866-935-4309, or text Newsmax to 65532. That's Newsmax to 65532.